Hello and welcome, one and all, to the Flag Lair. This is yet another live stream from here. I'm Mr. P. This is my Flag Lair. I'm also otherwise known as Tarath Peacock, and I'm coming live to you from Bedfordshire in a little country called the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. If you've not been here before, then a very warm welcome. Please say hi, drop a note in the comments. That's what it's there for. It's not just about me, it's about you as well. So drop a comment in, say hi, say where you're from as well. Let's see where everybody is coming from, because we've had people from all over the globe so far, which is absolutely fab. And if you want to ask questions about any of the flags that I've got, then by all means drop it in the chat as well. And indeed, if you want to get a bit of a dialogue going with your co-watchers as well, then by all means dive straight in. I've got a fun-packed show for you today, various different things. I've got a couple of new flags that I want to share with you. One I've had for quite a while, another which has been bought for me recently, so I want to share those two and just have a look at the differences between them, and we'll come on to them fairly shortly. I want to talk about the Flags in Focus 5th birthday, which is happening in September. I know it's July, but I've got to plan ahead with these things, and I've got a proposal where you guys can get involved as well, which will be perfect. So I need to introduce that now, so it's all ready for September, but it would be great if I can get as many of you involved in that as well, but more details about that as we come. And then finally, I've got some bits and pieces that I want to share with you, some gifts that I've received, which I want to make sure I share with all of you, just to as well as advertising from a few other people. I don't get any money from that, but they've sent me some free stuff, so it only seems right that I should give them a shout out, and I will do at the end of the show. So, as I say, drop any comments in the chat if you want to say hello, and we'll get rolling. The first thing I want to talk about is a couple of flags that sit deep within the Flag Lair. Let's do this probably backwards, actually. I had it in my head I was going to do it one way. I've now just decided I'm going to do it in a completely reverse order, for no other reason than because I can. So I want to talk about these two flags. So if I show you the first one, you'll probably get what the second one is as well. If my doorbell goes, then that means I've got to do a dash. And I bet you anything that that's potentially my delivery. That's what happens on live streams. It is my delivery. If you bear with me one moment. Okay, absolutely typical. Sorry about that. I'm in all day, and the delivery people turn up just when I don't want them to. Anyway, here now. Right, where was I? Let's start with, oh yes, let's get rid of that, close that down, and make sure I know what I'm talking about, so I can get these facts and figures right for you. Okay, right. Yes, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by things that I'd ordered off the internet, is once I've shown you this flag, then you'll probably know what the second flag is. But let's have a look at what we've got. This here is, of course, the flag of the Isle of Man, with its weird and wonderful tri-legs going on in the middle there. And it's this particular flag that I want to start off and talk about, because I'm going to pull together a video in the coming weeks, months, to talk about these as part of a Flags in 50 Places piece and the link between these two. But I thought I'd cover some bits and pieces and some details that I've got currently on these two flags. So let me just get myself sorted so I can almost do two things at once. So if I can hold this up here and get this, I can just cover a few things. So as we've got the Isle of Man, 3 armoured legs in a Triskelion pattern, which means it's sort of a, as you can see, a rotating three-legged piece on a red background. That's basically the current flag of the Isle of Man. The three legs are supposed to symbolize motion and resilience, and the motto of the Isle of Man in English anyway translates to whichever way you throw me, I stand. So yes, quite. First appeared on Manx coins back in the 13th century. And the colour red, though, however, on the flag has no official meaning, unless anyone else can point that out to me. I'm a bit dubious of why certain parts of the armour are yellow versus why the rest of it is white. That would be quite interesting if anybody has any details about that. The Triskelion may have been a pagan or solar origins in itself. And it's found across many ancient cultures as well. So it's not just in the world of the Isle of Man, in the Irish Sea, but it crops up in a few other places, which is bizarre of where these legs originated from in the first place, which is odd. Some believe that the Normans introduced the Triskelion to the island, possibly via Sicily, and we'll come to Sicily shortly. This flag was adopted officially on back in 1932 as their civil flag, and you'll find that the flag appears in many different places across the island as well. So it comes all over the place, and especially souvenirs and sporting events. You'll find this particular flag in also. So now, I have a sneaky suspicion that this is pretty much a bit like a Marmite type of flag, as in some people will love it, others will probably hate it. I'm still a bit dubious of whether I like it or not. The good thing about it, let me just get this out so I can stand it on here. I suppose for me, this flag, it at the very least is very recognizable. Although it is obviously has its similarities to Sicily, which I say I'll come on to in a minute. But there aren't many flags, to be fair, that are like this. There are no national flags, obviously, that look even remotely similar. But I don't know. My verdict's still out of whether I like it or not. Joey B, who occasionally does some podcasts with me on this channel from the US, he doesn't like this flag. Finds it a bit menacing. I have a wonder that his Isle of Man is my Argentinian soul, son of the sun face on the Argentinian flag. It's just a bit for me. But anyway, it's a different one. I'll grant you that. It's different to most other flags. Anyway, that's the Isle of Man. Let me make sure I've got the details for the island of Sicily, which I've got here and is not ironed. So I apologise profusely because I'm one for not liking unironed flags. But anyway, here we go. Let's just get this one up and running. So there we go. The Isle of Sicily. This is obviously a variation of a theme from the Isle of Man flag. 3 bent legs, Medusa's head in the middle. We'll come back to her in a minute. 3 ears of wheat as well, as you can see there. So there's a lot more going on this flag, a lot more detail as well, especially with the legs. These legs aren't in armour like the Isle of Man. They, oddly enough, look naked, these legs, but let's not dwell on that. Officially adopted back in 2000, but the symbol has been used in the area since the 13th century, and probably a bit before then. The red and yellow colours come from the 2 main cities, the leaders of the uprising back in 1282, so plenty of history stuck on this one. The 3 legs symbolises Sicily's triangular shape, and its 3 main capes as well. So it's supposed to very loosely represent the shape of the island. So we're looking at, remember people, the ball of Italy. So if Italy is the leg with the foot kicking a ball, Sicily is the ball. I'm sure they hate being described like that. Anyway, in the middle, as I said, is Medusa from the Greek mythology, but in the form of this flag, because as we know that legs, arms raking. As we know that Medusa is probably for people like me who ended up watching films like Sinbad many years ago, would turn people to stone if you looked her in the face. On this flag of Sicily, however, it's a sign of, it's a protective symbol, is Medusa, which you can sort of get if you're looking at it from the other side. So instead of something evil turning you to stone, if she was on your side, don't look at her, but should be there protecting the island. So you know, it's got its moments, I guess, from that side of it. The wheat stands for Sicily's fertile land, and its historical role for feeding the Roman Empire back in the day. And as I say, the link with the Triskelion on the Isle of Man is in there as well. Let's just do these last couple of bits on this flag. The symbol is used in the Sicilian Vespers. Nothing to do with motorbikes on that particular point, I don't think. And which was back in 1282. Basically trying to get rid of the French at the time who were occupying the island. And as I said before, with the Isle of Man, there's a potential link to the Normans spreading this design across out of the Mediterranean Sea and up along the Irish Sea to the Isle of Man, which is potentially where the Isle of Man's Triskelion comes from. It's not confirmed, and we'll never really know because there's nobody there to rewrite that particular part of history. But that's where they think it comes. The timescales are quite close. So it's probable, but it's not official. So we'll see. Where are we? The symbol of Sicilian identity. Oh yes. So basically, when you're in Sicily, you'll see this again pretty much everywhere. A bit like the Isle of Man when you're there. It'll be all over the place, and Sicily is no different with its beautiful design. There's a lot more detail going on now on this one. I'd love to hear what you think about these two designs, or indeed just the weirdness of a three-legged Medusa is in your heads. But if I had to choose these two, I'd go with the Isle of Man just because it's a little bit more simpler and plain. There's a lot of detail going in. If I just bring this forward, if you just look at the hairy legs that they've got going on there, and Medusa's face, and it's all just a bit busy for me, personally, and probably a little bit too weird for my liking as well. So let's just put her up there out of the way. But yes, let's hear what you guys have got to say. How's it going? Hi Pikachu. It's Pikachu. Sorry, yes, it's going well. Very well. I hope you are well as well. And it's all going swimmingly so far. So thanks for joining us. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these two flags, the Isle of Man, and now out of sight, the Sicilian three-legged race flag. I don't know, maybe they should do an egg and spoon flag. I don't know. That probably doesn't translate across the world, but there we go. So that's those two flags. And as I said, I'm going to do a proper video about these two while visiting Sicily in the coming weeks, months, once we get there. And yes, just to go into a bit more detail, because they're unusual, to be fair, in what they do and what they represent. But anyway, so those are those two flags that I just wanted to cover to start off with, and get the ball rolling. The second thing I wanted to talk about, once I move those away, is the Flags in Focus channel. Here is 5 years old in September, and every year so far, I've done something different to celebrate during that month, just to promote the channel and obviously celebrate as well the ongoing years that I've been trying to pull this thing together. And this year is no different. But this year, what I'm trying to pull together is what's called, instead of a flag layer like this. I'm trying to create a virtual people's flag layer. What I mean by that is what I'm hoping to do at the end of September for the actual birthday day of this channel is to produce a video where people like your good selves have offered up your favorite flags to put into this virtual flag layer, of which then I can cover. So as of next month, or whenever the 1st of August hits, I'll have a form that you guys can fill out with obviously who you are, which flag it is that you want to put into the virtual people's flag layer, the reasons why you want it there, and if it's really that obscure, probably a bit of backstory of what that flag is. But more importantly, it's why you've chosen that particular flag. That's what I'm after. And the more obscure, the better, which fits in with these the Isle of Man and the Sicily flags. So get your thinking caps on. There must be some really bizarre, obscure flags that you guys can think of that you can put in. And then, as I say, as of the 1st of August, I'll have some forms that you guys can fill out and send it in. And all the best ones that I receive, I'll put into a nice big video where we can review all of these together. I'm also very willing and open for anyone who wants to create a very short 60-second, minute-long video themselves with their flag behind them. That would be even better. Then it's not just me blurbering on for however long that video is. But it's not essential. So have a think about that. Favorite flags, the more obscure the better, for the Flags in Focus 5th birthday, which is coming up in September. But as I say, that all kicks off for submissions anyway for the whole month of August. So from the 1st to the 31st, I'll get that form open, and so we'll have a whole month where people can put their ideas and thoughts in, and I'm sure I can come up with some prizes for the best ones that get added to the video at the end. So have a think about that as you can. Right, for all of you there, come and say hello on the chat. That's what it's there for. It'd be great to hear from you. It's not just me blabbering on about flags. If you've got any questions about anything that either you see or I've talked about, by all means, drop it in the chat. You're more than welcome. I'd rather have you guys getting involved as well, as opposed to me just spouting nonsense for all this time. Anyway, the only other thing I've got, yes, that I wanted to share with you is a couple of little bits and pieces. When I say couple, I've got lots, but they're all the same thing. Let's just get that out there. So earlier this year, the Flag Institute of the United Kingdom had their summer meeting in York, up north, which I attended, and it was a great event. It was a whole weekend. Met some great people, including Oscar, who created the international flag of Earth, which is hanging somewhere, he says, seamlessly. I haven't planned this bit. Anyway, it's somewhere up here. There's Mars, there's the United Federation of Planets, there's Africa, not Olympic rings. Anyway, you get the point. It's here. There it is. This one. So this flag, which I'm really not doing it justice at all, holding it here. But anyway, the guy who designed that back in 2015, he was there, and it was great to meet him. It was great to meet a lot of people at the Flag Institute, and just as a plug, of which I get nothing for it, however, a bit like NAVA, the American Flag Institute, the UK version is open to anyone and everyone around this small globe of ours. So if you're interested in flags, doesn't matter where you are on the planet, you can be a member of the Flag Institute in the UK as well, and I can put some details up as well, should you have an inkling of wanting to join them as well. So it's not just NAVA, there's the Flag Institute of the United Kingdom as well. My favourite flag I have is the flag of Flanders. I just love that Flemish lion. Right, hang on. Let's just have a look and make sure that I'm on the same page as you. And if it's that good, then yes, I will have to prompt you to make sure that you put your submission. Oh, it's the yellow one. Oh, look, is it that? That's a real bad version of it. Okay, I'm just going to hold that up because that's a really horrific version. Plus, it's not in focus. But there we go. There we go. Is that the one you want? The yellow background, black. Yep, that's the one. Fab. It is. Now, there's something about the lions on, or is it leopards, lions and or leopards on flags, especially when they're crafted in this very, I almost want to say, theatrical way of looking at them, or where they've been designed. Sorry, I'm just talking nonsense, aren't I? There's a much better version of it there. I don't know. Well, as my regular viewers will know, that there we go. Let's have a look at that one, for example. There we go. See, to me, that's just a little bit busy, just because it's all very, very busy, for want of a better term. But however, 2 colours, minus the red and white, I suppose. But so it does stand out. I mean, that is a striking colours. Black on yellow is really stands out and pops, which is very good. So, but yes, that is exactly Pikachu, the type of flags that I'm after for the people's flag lair, the virtual people's flag lair. It's those types of flags I want to get in. I don't really want to do national flags. We've got loads around us all the time, and they're the ones that we collect, but really obscure odd ones as well. So that's absolutely perfect. So yes, it's those ones that I want you guys to have a think about and send in when I get the application open. So yes, good start. That's spot on. That's exactly the sort of thing I'm after. And I suppose it would link also to some of these. This is my collection of the weird and the wonderful. You see, I do have an old royal flag here as well, which these are leopards. I wonder if that is a lion and these are leopards. But these are the types of flags that I need people to start thinking about. This is it's a back to front one of Mars, to be fair. There we go. That's probably the right way around it. It should be the Mars flag from The Expanse, the TV series. Oh, why not? Some of you may or may not recognize this, but this is the flag of the podcast Flagged for Content with Andy. Yes, I do have a flag of his here hanging up. So it's those types of flags that I'm after for the channel. That would be great. Right, it is busy, but it feels very cultural, and it's a clear symbol of the region. Yes, that's why I like it better. I totally agree. I totally agree where you're coming from about its history, its culture, its symbolism. Absolutely, it's just it's too frilly. I wonder if there's a way of. Trouble is, I can imagine doing an updated, stylized version of the lion, probably looking very corporate, I suppose, in my head. But I'd be happier with that. But I can imagine it looking just like a big conglomerate blue chip logo, which is not what you want on a flag, really, he says. Although I probably would love it, to be fair. But it wouldn't have the same historical connotations by just simply looking at it if it was all just very squared off and modernized. And yeah, that's how I like it. But anyway, but so thank you for that one. So what I wanted to just show you, in addition to everything else that we've come across, is these little things that I've got. There we go. Look, is that gonna? Yes, look, there we are in focus now. So I met up. Oh, I was talking about the Flag Institute, wasn't I? And there was a reason I was talking about that, and it was to lead on to this. So I met a guy called Ron Strachan, who's an Australian from New South Wales, and Ron runs. I don't think it will. Right. Oh, it probably would sit there. Ron runs his own Australian flag company called National Flags. If you Google National Flags, obviously you'll get a Wikipedia page about national flags. Anyway, but if you Google national flags New South Wales or just Australia Flag Company, then you'll find him. And talking to Ron during the Flag Institute in York earlier this year, well, I was wearing this very cap, of which he recognised the logo, and he wanted to create a number of velvet patches like this for me, and asked if I'd be okay with him creating these and sending them over. And of course, why would I not be? And there's the, if I can get the come on black, there we go. See, there's it's just a velvet back, so it should stick on most velvets. So he sent me a large number of these, so I've got these up for grabs as well. If anybody wants them, then there's one or two here to be given away. But so you can message me a bit later if you want. If you want to be up for one of these little patches, you can see how big they are. They're not the hugest things, and they don't need to be. They're even better when they're in focus. But it's just the logo that you see for the channel. It helps if I don't block it up either way. So you can send me an email. tarath.peacock@gmail.com, and if you've been on the chat and got involved in the live streams, then by all means we can sort those out for you, no problems at all. Right, where else? What else have we got in here? It's tough to mix modern designs and old cultures. Right, so yes, you're right, going back to it's supposed to be looking for the flag, but it's not. It's on a phone, isn't it? So yes, going back to these types of designs, and I think a lot of you're right, historical designs. I'm just trying to think, because there aren't many national flags that have. Oh, he says Montenegro, for example, with a lion. There we go, right in the middle. I mean, a country as unique and specific as Montenegro, for example, you're right. I think trying to modernize the double-headed eagle, of which is very prominent in that part of the world, as obviously as Montenegro, Serbia, Albania, I think that'll do, have all got the two-headed eagles on them. And I don't think, although I think Albania probably for me does it the best. Serbia is just way too complicatedly difficult, as the two-headed eagle sits in a shield. Montenegro's, I think, does it very well because the colors of the background is barely slim, so that's I can cope with that. But Albania, which I don't think, it is. Albania, however, I think is still my favorite of the two-headed eagle national things, and I can't just move out of the way enough on there to really appreciate Albania. But and I've seen this in stone as well, this symbol, when we were in Tirana, if that's the capital of Albania. On one of the walls they had a stone version of this carved into the stone, which was beautiful. I did take a picture of it. I did stick it on Reddit, but then got moaned at saying it wasn't a flag. No, technically it's a piece of rock. However, it's the Albania anyway. I won't. Yes, Tirana, thank you very much. I won't go into that. Right. Okay. So that's that. I think we're coming up to the 30 minutes that I wanted to push for this one. That's okay. If there's any questions before we go, then please drop them in the chat. That's fine. I've got a few more minutes if you want to cover any more things. As I said, if you do want to have one of these, I'm happy to send one out. It's not a problem. And you've been busy in the chat, then by all means, drop me a note. As I say, tarath.peacock@gmail.com. That's fine. Keep an eye out for the 5th birthday People's Flag Lair application, which is coming out, as I say, from the 1st of August. And applications will be available for the entire month of August to get those in, so I can get that episode recorded at the beginning of September, and the 29th of September, the actual birthday day of Flags in Focus, is when I'll get that video out. I'll probably get a few more other videos out throughout September to help promote and celebrate Flags in Focus like I do every year. I mean, 2 years ago, I had a competition to design the flag for the channel, which is where this has come from. So that'll be 2 years old in September, and I've done various giveaways and trying to get episodes out a day during September. That was just ridiculous. And various other bits and pieces. So keep an eye out for more details coming up on the channel, on the Facebook page of the same name, and Instagram. They're probably the three main areas: YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, if you want to keep up to date with what's going on in Facebook. Flags in Focus. Right, in that case then, I think we'll pause it there. Thank you very much for joining me yet again for another Flag Lair extraordinaire. It's been great having you. As I say every time, we'll be back next month, last Friday of every month, so the end of August now. I'll be back here again at 12:45 British summer time, so wherever you are on the planet, just make sure you get the times right, and I'll see you there. And I think that's pretty much me done. So from myself in the Flag there, thank you for joining. Have a beautiful weekend. I hope the weather's good in your part of the world, and I'll be seeing you.